like to tell you about one of my favorite books, Ulick O'Connor's Michael Collins and the Troubles, Struggle for Irish Freedom. That's a mouthful. It's just by chance I picked this book up at a used bookstore. I always, before I travel somewhere, I like to read about the history of the area to make the trip more meaningful. Usually I'm forced to read a list or litany of dry details in these pre-visit books, but O'Connor's book read like a personal diary of an eyewitness to the events, which was somewhat true that he was seen through the eyes of a great-grandfather who was active in the Irish independence movement. What intrigued me most about this book was the inspirational and poignant, heart-wrenching stories about the involvement of educators and literary figures of the early 20th century, early 1900s, the people involved in the movement. The book is just laced with poems by people such as, well-known William Butler Yeats, lesser-known but an important person in Irish history, Patrick Pearse, who catalyzed the movement. There's a story about Patrick Pearse and his family. He wrote a poem for his mother about the death of mother losing two sons. And it turns out that Patrick and his brother were executed by the British independence movement in 1916. This poem was also above the bed of Rose Kennedy's. She is someone else who lost two sons and served the country. That was a real connecting story. Another connecting part of this book is that I did have an Irish grandfather, but never knew him and never heard much about him. And it's perhaps because of his Irish heritage and wanting to know more about my grandfather's life and times that I connected with this book. So if you want a good read and you want to know more about Irish history, I highly recommend this book.